So I said I the whole schematic here is a distribution. So I was expecting that this equal low wasn't sitting well with me. At this equal high, not equal low now, this relatively equal high wasn't sitting well with me as to what London found. Then I was expecting and New York is able to come over here and we continue to the downside. But New York won and the this we are 15 minutes past this time and the New York and London right now. So if we are definitely going to be, we are not going to be having a restart. If it goes out of this range, then we are not going to be having a restart. This is even a spoiler as to having a restart. This break of structure here, then we had the return, and this is definitely the point where we just from. So our job now is just to look for a simple 1:5 trade, and we call it a day on New York also. So let me just show you what happened on gold also. Gold in this case missed our order, right from that point where when it missed this order. So there's no point holding this. There's no point holding this. Alright. So we have that as our new high. Our new high with this liquidity grab here, which hasn't it's from this equal low, then we have this liquidity grab over there. Maybe we are going to be seeing a white schematic from over here. So let's just see how the whole thing plays out, because we are seeing the early stage of the white horse. So if we are going to be distributing, then now to see something before it comes down. Downside. So that's on gold. On USD future, nothing to explaining. So on USD future, just like I explained, this was the initial POI, and I said if it breaks the structure, I'm not considering this POI again. So that the other output, I think I cancelled it already. It's stop loss. I can't remember now. But what I essentially wanted you guys to see was the schematic that happened over here, coupled with the volume that confirmed the schematic has been a reaccumulation to the upside. Now, why I put this one here is all because we have this 1 hour break of structure over here, and definitely our distribution coming over here. Now, the only reason why I will not put this trade as a limit order is because we have this accumulation, and this accumulation could take it past this high. But in the meantime, all I want to see now is a break of structure, then we take it to the downside. But this is my initial POI, and I'll not be setting anything yet. But definitely it has to take that liquidity before doing anything. So that would be for USD future. For GBP USD also, okay, GBP USD just followed. We had this bearish structure, and instead of breaking above, it's still well below. So if we could have taken, this was just a simple induction, a lower high, and we could have taken it, our trade based on that. But we're waiting for, because of the demand zone we're in, we're expecting a break. So nevertheless, it's just to wait for the market to come down to this zone. Let's see what will happen then. If it goes to the downside, if it goes to the upside, breaking the structure there, we take it based on that. Alright, so those are the things I'm looking at for New York, USD on the other hand is still my main it's still my main pair of interest for New York. So into some probably AUD over here. I still don't want to. Okay, let me just give you guys a quick overview of what I think I posted this on the channel. And if you would look very well, this is your monthly break of structure, monthly higher low, then higher high, then to form an higher layer. So definitely we should have the and it's no coincidence, Australian news coming up soon. Because even on Thursday, Friday till next week, there are a lot of Australian news coming up soon. And it's no coincidence that you now have the very strong demand zone. The monthly demand, which is a strong demand zone over here. This other block, 50 here. Those news should play in favor of expecting this zone. Because I don't expect it to break this point over here. Number one, because this week took every liquidity here. So definitely it's not an area of liquidity that is anytime soon. So, okay, I think that's what I wanted to mention on AUD. So we have the New York reversing on the euro dollar. So definitely if we are going to have a break of structure, then we have a continuation to the downside. But without that coming into play, I would wait to see what happens on. I'll wait to see what happens. But you can just take. So this zone is also important. If it breaks this structure, then this other block will be my point of interest. Then this should also work out as another point of interest. So in the meantime, please allow to go in there and on a break of structure. I want to know when it breaks structure. And for gold also, on gold, we can clearly see a distribution forming on gold over here. So on 3 minutes, on This is a break of structure, continuation, 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 then higher high, higher low, then it breaks this. This is not higher because it's not forming an higher. This is not an higher low because it's not forming an higher. So it breaks this side, then it comes over to break that side without weight. And on the other side, you see it as a liquidity grab. And that's why I said anywhere you see liquidity grab, just suspect your white call schematic at that point.
So if we are going to be labeling this is your PS, should be your buying climax. Your ARST. So this could either be your SOW or your selling climax, depending on what the volume tells us. Then if would continue to labeling as confirmed from what the volume says. All right. So they are definitely we're expecting that this forms a distribution, and the distribution, just like I used to mention, you have a lower volume from it. So in essence, we have this confirmed as a reaccumulation. And definitely why it's even become more confirmed as a reaccumulation is because we are bullish on 1 hour. So definitely this should be a reaccumulation supporting 1 hour pullback. So let's just go into 3 minutes and finish our schematic. Your selling climax. Then this should be your area. One mistake you would commonly make when you are doing your white curve is not checking your volume. That confidence of you seeing a demand zone, or probably you have a bias in mind and you started seeing white curve, and all you just do is confirm that schematic with just your bias. Then it's that will fall into a lot of error. So one thing is to confirm for sure what you are doing, and that I think that was what made us conclude on Euro USD so fast. I just had to look at the chart after you guys going off from the live. I had to look at the volume to confirm really that whether it's an accumulation. And on checking the volume, also for USD CHF too. On checking the volume, the were the opposite of what we were thinking. So the same thing is happening or is happening here too. So we should have our STB at least before it continues to the upside, and it has to take out this liquidity. So from the 1 hour now, I want to pick up my demand zone. All right, this whole thing here is your demand zone for 1 hour, because you have this block covering everything. So in the 15 minutes, defining that particular, we have this zone of interest. Then on 3 minutes, we have that. So if we are going to be expecting, if we are going to be getting into this accumulation trade, then the accumulation trade, we should have something like this, and we put our trade our entry around that point. So our job now is just to wait for the markets to do this thing and react appropriately. So that's about 6.5 pips for gold, and that'll be the first take profit. But in this case now we're just looking for a 1 to 5. So necessarily not something really big to target. Our 1 to 5 should be around, alright, should be around there. In this case now it's about 32 pips. So definitely this is not your back testing that you can press fast forward. You just have to be patient to let the price play out. So in the meantime, do you guys have any question, or probably you looked at something after? Or do you want us to look at another pair? So we don't just sit around waiting for the price to come to us. We could just use this hour to say some other things. And definitely you don't want the price going up at this point. Now, what we found over here is your 5 minute higher high. So this was your 5 minutes induction, 5 minute higher high, then possibly your 5 minute higher low. So if this is going to be holding, if this is going to be reversing, then you should break this point, not that point anymore. So you have your structure point to be higher than the previous one. So we should have this structure over here. Delete this. If this is going to break, then we should possibly have seen a distribution at this point. But without a distribution, this is not a confirmed. This zone over here, the SND week or the supply zone I marked over there is not confirmed as something I would like to show. And that's why I didn't place a limit order. Number one, because of the momentum it used in coming to this point. So it's just for me to react, and that's why I wanted the break of structure in 3 minutes before placing a short order at some other block on top. And when I saw the fact that this SND week here is seeming to hold, was why I placed this buy limit. So I didn't this buy limit had held, I could have held it till it broke this structure, then I'll be putting my stop loss at break even. So let's just get into what's good. Okay, so we have one thing it could have done is that's where it's so reason. I don't like taking my orders from a breaker block if I don't see another block within. So I guess I'll just have to wait for this to come to me. So we might not have the market coming down to that entry again. One thing, okay, let me just explain why I said that now. Now, this candles that you see over here has a weak under. Now, what do you see on a lower time frame than 1 minute is you'll probably be seeing a sell, probably be seeing a sell. Then at some point you have buys, and so this whole candle formation, these two candle formations is what this is on a lower time frame. So if you had probably wanted to pick another block, you're probably picking this one, depending on how the candle formation goes. For every kind of formation, on the lower time frame, you could also see it as something like this because a week is as though you've had a sell, then almost a buy immediately. So you could have it as this too. So what the whole thing will now be this candle before the engulfment. So your other block doesn't have to just be one stereotyped black candle or some buy candle before the sell. So if I had wanted, let me delete this and find what I did over there. So this should have been my entry. Then my stop loss will be over here. Probably be looking at a lesser risk reward. So that's a 1:7, approximately 1:7. So we should have that as my risk to reward, and the stop loss still remains the same. So eventually it comes to this point, it's all good. But in a candlestick formation, it's just you defining what happened. And when I was explaining other blocks, how of the fact that the other blocks are the buys before the sell. Now, within this week, you have your buy because the whole essence of why you have a week is because you have the sell, then a green candle engulfed it. So this whole thing will be my sell structure, and I'll be willing to take, let me just put another one here. That's if it comes back to that point. Alright, so you guys will have to give me a minute. Let me go to my MT4.